gone too far? Should security concerns trump individual privacy? Here's what you had to say. Let's see. Jeff, he quotes Ben Franklin, who said, "They who give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." But Paul, he's countering, saying it's necessary. Ignore all the negative hype. Joining us right now by the phone is Ben Ferguson, talk radio host at Icon Network, also David Mercer, Democratic strategist. Great to have both of you on the program. Ben, I'll begin with you. Has the TSA gone too far?
Yeah, I think they've gone too far. I mean, now we have the infamous picture of the 13-year-old getting strip searched to the airport. I personally would like to adopt the kid. I don't think I'm threatened by a 13-year-old sitting next to me. I mean, the reality is, if the TSA is this concerned and this worried over security, why are they not implementing profiling of actual terrorists instead of worrying about 13-year-olds and taking their shirts off going through screening? I mean, if it's that bad, why are we not doing what Israel and many other countries do, which is profiling terrorists? I don't understand it.
David Mercer, profiling terrorists seems a long stone's throw from a body scan. What I want to ask you is, body scan, body parts. Can this be fixed?
I think, as you heard during your lead-in piece on this, that there are adjustments that have to be made. But the overall thrust of the story should be what we learned just recently with the potential cargo bombing. And as you know, Larry, about 20% of our GDP is being transported around the world every day. And imagine the outcry and the anecdotes that would come from that if that all came to a halt. And with regard to what was said earlier, with regard to Ben Franklin, we all wish that we lived in the days of Ben Franklin, but that after 9/11 is not the case. So we have to take this very seriously. But to work, I believe the administration, TSA, are working, with the public to address a lot of these concerns. And as was also mentioned, 2 million people are traveling through the airports and through the body scanners. And yes, we have these incidents that pull on our cords emotionally, but nonetheless, I think they would rip that cord if we had any of these instances come to fruition.
Ben?
But I go back to my main point here, and that's this. If it's this bad and we have to have this invasive of procedures done on children and women and men alike, the elderly, those in wheelchairs, why are we not doing things, if it's this bad, to actually go after those that fit the profile of what we're looking for in terrorists from around the world? I don't understand how that's possible that we're not going there. I mean, the TSA is saying, let me go all over your body. However, I'm not going to profile. It doesn't.
Well, David, answer Ben's question.
Listen, as Janet Napolitano said, this is a multi-layer approach. There is human intelligence. The airports are not the first line of defense. A lot of the chatter coming over the waves in the last couple of months have been from Europe, and why you got the advisory that was transmitted regarding Europe, and we found that there was an attempt being made. So there's a lot of human intelligence.
Profiling? I mean, Ben's saying he wants to take this one step further. What do you say to that?
I say that it already exists, that there is profiling.
No, it doesn't. And when you are strip searching a 6-year-old child, you are not profiling terrorists. You are going to the numbers.
I don't think that.
Hold on one second. The same way, let's rewind. Let's rewind back to going at the trains and the subways in New York several years ago when they were randomly picking people, every third or fifth or 12th person coming through the turnstiles. They weren't profiling terrorists. They were doing politically correct profiling, making sure they didn't offend anybody. And if you're going to offend every American by putting your hands over their body, then let's go ahead and offend those that may fit the profile of a terrorist. And if that profile looks like me on a random Tuesday where they're looking for somebody that looks like me, by all means, go to the extent you need to make sure that I'm not a terrorist.
But, David, I mean, I just want to correct Ben's story a little bit, because I'm not sure that the TSA actually strip searched a 13-year-old child. I think there was more to that story than we're saying. But setting that aside, I mean, David, there's no chance the TSA is going too far here?
I do not believe so, and look.
Did you see the video we're showing where you can clearly see everyone's body
parts? It looked like this just dropped out of the sky.
This
has been a long-term planning process. They also tried this as a pilot in Boston and other airports, and a lot of these situations didn't arise. It's now gone national.
Wow. It's the body part.
Listen, it's now gone national, and there are going to be these instances and adjustments, as we saw all through the Sunday talk shows. There are going to be adjustments to those particular situations where more sensitivity needs to be had.
And
that might be a good.
Can I just ask my pal Ben Ferguson? Ben Ferguson, I appreciate the libertarian point of view, but you got to have security and safety. Don't you think Big Sis Napolitano and the TSA can fix this in time for Thanksgiving? Don't you have confidence in Big Sis?
Yeah, I don't have confidence in
Come
Big
on,
Sis.
Ben, join us.
I mean, they've been absolutely defiant about this. And look, if it's this bad and you need to do this, then actually put the other measures in that we all know we can use to genuinely make it safer. I just don't like someone going to this point. I mean, when I referred to the kid earlier, when you're taking a child's shirt off, looking for bombs on him, but not profiling terrorists, I think that's when you show that Big Sis has no clue what she's doing right now at all.
Ben, come on. We saw some of that pullback even this weekend with the TSA administrator saying that there are going to be adjustments. We know that there are going to be congressional hearings, and this is a dialogue, so to speak. Some may be putting it as a lot of hype, but nonetheless, it is a dialogue being taken seriously to adjust and refine the process.
We've got to wrap it up there.
When was the last time a hearing in Congress actually made things better?
You don't have enough confidence in Big Sis, Ben.
That sounds like
You
something
just
I
don't
would
have
say.
enough
Come on,
confidence.
Ben.
Big Sis can solve. They let me go right through. My hip did not stop me.
That's
They let me
great.
go
Well,
right
I'm
through.
hoping I get the same treatment on